and where it says Schedule D, Step 1, instead, it should be amended to just say no change.
Okay. And all right, so that's correct. For the time being, do I have anybody to make so Rick, do you want to make a motion to pass that then?
I'm sorry, Suzanne, I didn't understand that.
Oh, do you want to go ahead and make the motion? So
my motion would be to approve. Hang on a second, I gotta look at the agenda item 2. That the board approve and/or ratify the administrative certificated and classified assignment orders, educational services consultant, PV Peninsula High School consultant, PV Kids Center consultant, and student services consultant, with the amendment that the line item under Brenna be changed to no change under salary.
Okay, and is there a second? No second?
Second.
Okay. I don't know if it's a time delay. I don't necessarily know what's going on.
I was on mute. Sorry.
So, okay. All right. So then, all in favor? Oh wait, I have to do a roll call vote. So now we're going to vote. So Linda Reed.
Yes.
And Matthew Brock.
Yeah. So we didn't have really the time for discussion on this one.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. Let's go back and have discussion on that item. Sorry.
You know, I just want to make sure this is a process discussion. That pulling this change reflects to a process discussion.
Yeah, we will come back. We have to fix the salary schedule. We have a couple corrections we have to make, and we will bring this item back in May. All right, so back to the voting.
Aye, yes.
Okay, Megan Crawford?
Yes.
Richard Phillips?
Aye.
Suzanne Seymour, aye. So that passes 5-0. And then Q4A, Rick, what did you have on the Ed Leo renewal?
So I just wanted to bring up this issue, and sorry for not flagging it earlier, but we keep hearing this issue that was discussed in the prior discussion on grades and distance learning, that our parents and students keep going to multiple different platforms to find the information necessary to complete the work in the classes. And so what are we doing to try and single up and not spend money on multiple platforms? So that's why I pulled it. I mean, right now it's clear that it's part of one of the platforms we use.
Yeah, that is correct. One of the platforms, when we adopted EdLeo, going back several years, one of the messages that we shared with staff was that it should be your launching pad for resources for staff. And I think part of the challenge is as technology has changed, as different resources have been out there, a lot of our staff have adopted some different things that they feel that they like to use for collaboration with their students. While we encourage folks to always have one place where families can go, whether that's students or parents, to get everything they need, we have some work to do there.
Right.
And Trent, isn't it the goal too with the Technology Advisory Committee to kind of to narrow down platforms at some point and have people vote on one or two to stay on? One of the things that I think
this closure has really, I think, given some of our staff an opportunity to really spend some time learning some of the tools of a variety of platforms that we already have in place, the professional development, and thanks to the Ed Services team and some of the IT staff, to really give them an opportunity to kind of see all the features and things that are available with products that we already have in place. One of the things that we have, Dr. Gotan and I both have encouraged our site leaderships and some of our staff who have asked for additional things is to really try and focus on the platforms and the tools we have rather than trying to add more things onto the menu, so to speak, for our students, especially when they're in this new environment, and also for our families. So we're really trying to condense and stay status quo rather than adding more things into the mix, and really doing a better job of providing professional development to make our staff and our stakeholders aware of what resources and what tools are available to them. So that is definitely something we have some work to do there.
Maybe that'll be one of the bonuses of this entire remote learning, is that we can come back in the fall and have a more concrete conversation about what tools we really want our teachers to be able to use, and not let them use anything that they want to use. I hate to squelch
one thing
creativity.
To note too is that the EdLeo platform is the primary website for not only the district but for every school site. So that's one of the school sites' tools of communication from the principals, teachers, staff, things like that. So in addition to being a resource for families to have access to teacher classes and things like that, it's also kind of the face of the school district, in terms of on the web,
right?
Of the schools.
Got it. So okay, well,
I'm going to just reiterate that we're a unified school district. I want to start seeing unified programs, unified methods of instruction. Right? This 17 locations doing 17 different things. It's not working. Let's start focusing and getting people. Now would be the opportunity when students are starting to engage more online to focus on what the new emerging technology would be. Right? Let's get them started. Why get them started on something and then change it later?
Okay, so can we go ahead then and make a motion on that one, or what do you think? Are we ready? And Ms. Barton, I want to let you know you logged back in with us, so I don't think you meant to.
No, she does. She has a comment.
Oh, you put a card in. I didn't hear that. Okay. Sorry, no one told me that. So wait, is Tesha's comment on EdLeo?
Yes.
Oh.
Hi, everybody. I was going to say good morning. I'm in my pajamas here. I had submitted it with the grade stuff, but I waited for this one. Rick, I'm glad that you brought this up. And I was actually in a meeting with Trent the other day when we were talking about it. And I will say now that the teachers have shifted to this virtual learning online deal, you're absolutely right that, Trent, that we're being exposed to what the district has. But I think it's going to start begging questions as to what the district has. Is it the best learning management system for our district? And I know that Google connects directly to Aries. Yeah, that's my dog. Google connects directly to Aries. I know it's expensive, but I also know that Google has a plagiarism component, which would replace Turnitin.com. So we have so many different platforms that if we were to look at how much money we're paying for all of those platforms and then see what platforms out there that offers all of it, and if it costs more money, in the long run, it may not cost more money because we have all of these different platforms doing different things. And if there is a platform out there that does all of that, then we are saving money as well and putting everybody on the same platform. I had a department meeting the other day, and just by talking with the different members, Coach Gardner says, gosh, hearing everything, there's like all of us are doing different things. And no wonder why kids and parents and teachers get so frustrated. So now the teachers are starting to feel this frustration as well. I love the fact that there's all this professional development on all of these things, but it's almost too much where we need to have one consolidated arena. So that's my 3 cents. And you all have a great night, and I appreciate all your work tonight. So,
thank you, Tisha.
I'm going to bed now. Good night, everybody.
We're going to bed soon, I hope. All right. Well,
all
good.
right. Take care, everybody.
So Trent, let's be sure we re-agendize this. This contract's for, till next May. So let's, we've talked about moving to Google if we ever wanted to. Let's just have that on our conversation. We do pay for many fewer pieces of software today than we did a couple of years ago because we have narrowed that way, way down. But we obviously have to keep working on that. So, all right. So then, Rick, do we have a motion to pass this?
I mean, I'm willing to go that way if we have to have it, but I do think that we ought to, I guess through the technology advisory committee, we ought to keep focusing on what are the right platforms, as for the future here, and look at consolidating them.
Right, I agree.
So I'll move that the Board of Education approve the 1-year subscription renewal agreement effective May 26, 2020 with Edleo for the PVPUSD district website, hosting and content management services as presented.
All right, thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, now we will vote. Linda Reed.
Yes.
Matthew Brock.
Aye.
Megan Crawford.
Yes.
Rick Phillips.
Aye.
Suzanne Seymour, aye. That passes 5-0. All right, now, let's see. So, an information item, Williams Uniform Complaint Quarterly Report. That is presented as an information item. And then future agenda items.
I had a question on it, actually.
Oh, on the Williams? Okay.
Yeah, because and so, Matt, the response here was that they were satisfied with the plan, but it doesn't say anything about what happened with the plan. And I don't know, relative when the shutdown happened, how, versus the plan, but what happened in terms of actually resolving it, through the plan.
Yeah, so they had a team come out and essentially cleared all of the issues that were taking place. It's an older classroom, older building, and I think the teacher, part of the conversation I had was she reacted and submitted that complaint. And I said, didn't really give M&O really time to get out there. Terry I saw him at the board meeting that night. He had a team out there to remedy the situation that was going on. I think there were some varmints that were in there and they got those out and cleaned it up and made the classroom back to as good as can be in there. But,
so it was fully remedied. It wasn't just left at the plan. Okay, thank you.
That's right. Yeah, fully remedied for sure. But we've been out. I mean, we were out shortly after that board meeting. So.
Okay. All right. So that's presented for information, and then the next item is future agenda items. I was looking through our list, and it's funny, we have online classes on here as an item. So that was funny because look where we are today. I do think that one benefit to this change of instruction is that we are learning a lot about online education, and that will kind of evolve as we evolve. Does anybody have anything specific they want to add to the future agenda items list? No. Okay. Then let's move on to reports of board members, and I will start with Rick Phillips.
I don't have much to report, but I think that as you heard tonight, there's a lot of different experiences going on throughout the district with families and their educations, both due to circumstances that are school because of how different school sites and different teachers are handling things. And then what you're not hearing is that there's also lots of things happening inside homes with individual situations, in this crisis. And, some families are, on the health side that there are real issues, and a lot of families also on the economic side have real issues. And I think we need to, recognize that we have entered, very different times and have some compassion and awareness of the disparate sorts of experiences that people are having. And I'm particularly concerned about what's going to happen with our budget going forward because state income tax revenues are going to be down. But, the indications that I'm hearing are that we're not going to see what we expected in the governor's budget in January. and we're going to have to make some painful adjustments. And I look forward to the community pulling together to make the adjustments that are necessary to make that happen. And also it's going to require the cooperation of the staff in the district as well. But we are living in different times now than we were living, just a month ago. So, and with that, I will have coffee with a school board member. I did have it, and got something put on the grading policy on Sunday. Not going to do it the Sunday before the next board meeting because that's Mother's Day. So I'll probably have it on the Friday of the 8th before the board meeting on the 13th. And I'll send out a Zoom invite on Twitter, Rick for PV.
Great. Thank you, Rick. And let's see, Megan, would you like to go next?
I agree with everything that Rick said, and I appreciate all of the people that put in comments tonight, either written ahead of time or coming online to talk about their views with grading, especially students. It's really nice to hear from you directly on your opinions and what you think is best for you and potentially other students. As much as I am not in favor of a grading as is, even though I know it's going to be hopefully easier for students, it seems like at least we're all on the same page with trying to help students as much as possible. And I like that they were able to have the option going forward in some way to choose pass-fail. So I hope that alleviates some stress for students. And no one's going to be happy either way, but I do think, like it has been mentioned before, that this one semester is not really going to be affected for college. And I think that whatever we can do to alleviate student stress is the best. So I hope that when we come back to finalize that, grading policy can start to help alleviate that stress. So it will also be interesting to see going forward what Dr. Chernis comes up with hopefully a subcommittee thinking about the fall. And it would be great to have multiple stakeholders on that, including teachers. And if they have any thoughts on how to potentially make things better in some way or improve them in the fall, or if we do come back to classes at school sites, how they think could work somehow with social distancing. I have no idea, but I do think it's important to include them in that committee. So that's it. And I wish everyone health and safety. That's the most important thing through all this. As long as we are all safe and healthy, and our students are even healthy, that's what's important. So thank you.
Thank you, Megan. Okay, Linda.
Just two quick things. Suzanne asked me to attend a really exciting webinar given by AALRR about changes in education law with COVID-19. It was very interesting, Suzanne. Thank you so much.
Good.
And I just wanted to mention a couple things, and that is that, issues with employees are going to get more complicated as far as employees with disabilities and so forth, and I'm sure Dr. Horvath is on top of that. And the other issue they were really concerned about is all what we've been talking about tonight, our e-service contracts, and how you could maybe terminate them if you need to at some point, what liability looks like, data breaches, all those sorts of things that I know that Trent is working on. And those are things that the attorneys that represent us were very concerned about going forward. And they said, basically, if we have any concerns in any of those areas, to just give them a call. And I want to thank all of everybody for all their input tonight and over the last few weeks. I might not agree with everything everybody says, but I always love to hear everybody's input, including that of my colleagues and our staff. And I have a couple positive things. We have several of our teachers who are going to be featured in a Daily Breeze and all around Southern California photo essay on what it's like to teach at home. sometime in the next couple of weeks. And then we have a couple students who are going to be featured on ESPN's Outside the Lines for their work that they're doing in their community as high school athletes. So stay tuned for those over the next week or so. It's always nice to see the positive things that are happening in our community.
Thank you. That is awesome. Matt, do you have anything you want to share?
Yeah, a big thanks to everybody. This whole time, it almost seems surreal at times what we're going through and what we're dealing with, and everybody's faced with their own challenges. And as Rick mentioned, it's important to recognize that and to be patient. But it's also, we have a job to do. Teachers have a job to do. Principals have a job to do. There's expectations for learning, and that's what we're here for. I had one parent comment came across. She's like, what do we even have a board for? If you guys can't do anything about this. And it's not so far off. The board needs to make sure that people are doing the best that they can do. And if they're not doing the best they can do, we need to look at how we can help them. But we need teachers to motivate other teachers. We need principals to motivate teachers. We need to motivate the principals. We have to start from the top down and say, look, we get it. It sucks. It's hard. We're all going through it, but let's get through it together and let's help each other out. We're not looking to punish. We're not looking to shame. We're not looking to hurt anybody. All we're trying to do is make sure that our students get the best education possible. And that's what the community expects out of us. They want the best possible education, whatever that is, the best possible education that we can give them.